What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another business breakthrough. Today, I sit with Cory Sebach. This guy's destined for success, as most and almost all of you are who are a part of this podcast who join me. It's a matter of perception, a different perspective, and really just having the humble spirit to come on here, share what's going on so I can give you the most honest advice that I can. And in this case, Cory was game for that. And I feel like I gave him some really solid tools to help him advance his mission of growing his company. There was a lot here. I mean, we're talking about getting burned by an SEO company and kind of just having our marketing in all sorts of different places, and nothing seems to be working. So, I always try to let people come on here and leave with some strategy. And I think Cory has a really good one that I left him with. So, this is a great episode if you are struggling with your marketing, if you hired people that aren't giving you results. And we do a little marketing audit in this one. And Cory was actually a little surprised by the results. It was just a great business breakthrough. So I hope you guys get something out of this. And of course, if you want to join me on one of these, please don't be shy. Get on here with me. Let's talk your business. Let me give you some advice. Let me give you a perspective. And let me help you advance your mission in your business. It starts right now.
Contractors all over the world are wanting more time, more freedom, more impact. The way we do this is through implementing systems, processes, standards. Welcome to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. Here we hit business strategy, coaching, mindset, motivation, the tools you need for success. So strap in, listen up, and get ready to grow on the Contractor Secrets Podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Cory Sebach. We're here ready for a business breakthrough, talking about some of his successes and also some areas that he wants to pivot and grow in. Really, the best way to do this, man, just give me kind of a little synopsis on, where you are in your business. First of all, what your role is, and, what does your team look like? If you want to get into some numbers, you can do that too.
Yeah. So crazy. Quick little background on me. I actually was working in home remodeling sales for a remodeling company about a year ago. I was having some issues with the owners. So I left and I started a painting business, never had painted before. I still haven't picked up a paintbrush, which is crazy for a lot of people to think of. But yeah, so we're a year and a month, just about. We did about $450,000 of sales this year. We're obviously looking to do more. We had a really big project in Columbus, Ohio for a company called Flight Safety. It's a Berkshire Hathaway company owned by Warren Buffett. We painted one of their exteriors. I think they're contracting us out to do the one in Wichita and hopefully the one in Dallas coming up. But it's been a crazy year. Some of the stuff that I'm kind of like really having issues with, a lot of our work seems to be coming, from good sources of business, word of mouth referrals, stuff like that. But we're struggling as far as advertising in the right places. I'm just not getting any lead flow from,
Sure. First of all, 450,000 in your first year. Congrats. That was a big swing from working for somebody. So
yeah,
by any person's estimation, you made it to the other side. Congrats. Let's talk about the team first before we get into like marketing and stuff. What does the team look like? How do you actually get these jobs done?
Yeah. So for the majority, the first 6 months, I went through a couple different contractors, mostly started just subbing. I'd give them a percentage of the contract, whatever. And we go from there. I still have one crew that I use that was really good that I subcontract with. And then I have an hourly guy, and he has a helper that we use right now too. That's starting to, allow us to be a little bit more competitive as far as pricing goes. So we really just have two crews.
You like the hourly model, or do you like the working with subs?
So definitely hourly model. Not that like you need to be in control. Not that I feel like I need to be in control, but it gives me a little bit more control. There's stuff that I miss not being a painter. And with that, when I have to tell my sub something, they're like, "Hey, that wasn't originally part of it. It's this much more money." I'm like, "Yeah, I get it."
Like, well, when you're dealing with subs, it's like you're working with another business essentially. And you not being a painter, you kind of maybe feel like there's a little bit of a power struggle there in a sense, when ultimately like you're cutting the check and you're the one who has to respond to the customer. So you're finding that in that case, sometimes it's a little hard to deal with in comparison to your hourly guy who has your back, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we could do this together type deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. I think like when I first, I don't know if you know this, but when I first started my business, I was all in on subs. I was going to do, contractors and like just sell and sell and sell. And I'm like, man, I'm starting to notice that like I'm losing that touch that I should have as a business owner. And once I transitioned to hourly, it was a lot smoother.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's kind of why we transitioned to hourly, is like it gives me, not like I said, I don't want to be in control of everything, but I can just be like, hey dude, just get that part done for me. And it only, it's only those couple hours, not some ridiculous price that my sub's trying to charge me or beat me up on.
That's $500 for me to come back tomorrow and
yeah, paint the
yeah. Well, I think it also has to do with like just making sure you're finding the right sub crews too, and you can nurture those relationships over a long time to where they're almost like employees, but they're not. So all that's good, man. Well, that's cool. So you got kind of like a production system going. In terms of marketing, man, dude, if there's one question I get aside from hiring, which I don't think you have much of a problem with, and recruiting people, it's getting your name out there. And I always like to go all the way down to the foundation. Whenever you're looking at your marketing in your company, you always want to first identify what is it like to be a consumer of your product. Because like if you can go all the way to the root, it's so much easier to reverse engineer what you need to do to really just be in front of somebody when the need arises. So obviously we're in December. So everything that you think about marketing and what's going on, including myself, anything that I think about, what works and what doesn't count this month. Like, let's just put it that way. Like nothing counts, because, and I had a good conversation with, I don't know if you've heard of Brandon Pierpont. He's a painter marketing pros. And he said, dude, everyone is trying to advertise right now. Everyone. So there's companies that don't advertise all year, but when it comes to Christmas, obviously they're going to be advertising. So again, like if you're thinking, hey, what is and I know that you're spending some money on advertisements, right? Didn't you give me a list? Can you go through what you're spending right now?
Yeah, and this has been for the past previous months too. So I do have a business partner with me. He's just kind of like it's like a father figure, really. He just kind of there to help bounce stuff off of. But anyways, so he has a guy that does SEO that's done a really good job for a couple of his other companies. So he really pushed for us to do them. But I pay $725 a month for our SEO. $750 a month. $750. And then we just upped our Google Ads budget last month to $1,200 a month.
Okay. Who's running that? The guy who does the SEO?
Yep. They manage that for free for us. Or not for free, I guess, but
yeah, it's worked into the. Got it.
Yep.
All right, so you have SEO, Google Ads. What else?
We Angie Ads I signed up for. That was about 6 months ago. I've not had a great experience with them. Everything's been spam.
Different than Angie Leads.
I just signed up for Angie Leads last week.
Okay, I like Angie Leads better than Angie Ads. We're going to talk about that. What else?
So Angie Ads is $550 a month. That's the only they had open. And then Angie Leads, like I said, just started this month. Our budget for that's $1,000. And then last month, let me pull up my Facebook, what I spent on my Facebook. I think it was somewhere around $500, $600.
Okay. All right. And if you were to give me an assessment on how all that's working for you, what would you grade that? A, B, C, D, or F?
So I feel like I'm just lighting money on fire as far as like Google Ads goes right now.
Let's start there. So let's start with your Google Ads. So I'm going to say you're at probably a D in the way that you're coming across to me is like, none of this stuff. You're starting to get like, well, what else can I do, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing is, let's talk about your Google SEO. How long have you been working with this company?
We signed up a year ago for the SEO.
Okay. For SEO, when did you start running the Google Ads?
About six months ago, probably.
What is the city that you're in?
Columbus, Ohio.
Big city.
Yep. Decent size, pretty big.
All right. So I'm going to type in Columbus, Ohio, painting contract. Okay. What's the name of your company?
American Quality Painting.
So I'm going to share my screen with you. I know this is rudimentary, but I just want to show you. Okay. You're not in the ads. You're not in the map pack.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not in the SEO. So if you paid someone who was 10 grand, you're not in any of these three searches, it's time to look for a different vendor. I mean, because here's the deal. I'm moving to Columbus, Ohio, hypothetically. I don't know anyone there, but I need my house painted before I get there. I'm in Florida. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go right on Google and look for painters in Columbus, Ohio. And you're telling me that you're not even going to be in the map pack? I mean,
Yeah.
The ad set here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you done this Google search and seen any ads?
Yeah, I have. I've done it myself. I don't know if it gets skewed towards you because you look it up so much or you look up your company, but my stuff sometimes pops up, sometimes doesn't.
Looking up your own company, maybe?
Maybe. That's what I was worried about. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it does because of like the location of where you're searching. I will say this: there is a very strong competition in terms of like reviews. Where is your American Quality?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't go show up anywhere there, do we?
No, I don't see you anywhere. And that again, that in itself is your American Quality. Painting, Columbus, Ohio. All right, so yeah, I mean, 20 reviews, 5-star. You should definitely be here in this list, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, but you don't even have a shot, dude. So, when I look at this, it's like you don't even have a shot. There's a 35 review company with a 3.7 rating that has a better shot of getting Google traffic than you do. You see that here?
Yeah. Yep.
So, when I'm a little critical on that simply because it's been a year, and I'm already critical of SEO as it is because the competition just keeps getting harder and harder to be found on the first page of Google. There's only one page, and there's all these companies that want to be on it. And it's like, for me, I at least want to see you in the listings. So if somebody takes another step and says, I'm not just going to jump at the highest rated companies here that have made it all the way to the top. I'm going to look at more businesses and do a little more research. And you're not even in that. So like from the consumer perspective, if I'm searching on Google, you don't exist.
Yep.
Okay. So my first suggestion would be get a new Google vendor because you're just burning money, and there's companies that, I definitely think you should hold them accountable and say, let me see some of your competitors. I would ask them, show me your competitors. I want to see their rankings on Google. That is the surefire way, not your competitors, sorry, your clients. I want to see their ranking on Google. So you ask them for a list of their clients and say, great, I'm going to search them on Google and I want to see them on the first page. And if they're not, don't hire them. Fair enough on that?
Yep, absolutely.
Do you agree with that?
No, I think that's I've been shopping a little bit of SEO lately, and what I do is I'm like, dude, hey, I want to call people, like I want references, and I'm gonna call them, and I'm gonna see how they think.
Now you're gonna do that because it's like you've already been quote unquote burnt.
I feel like
that's what you feel like. You're burning $1,200 a month, on ads, and you're not even shown in Columbus, Ohio search. Is there any close towns that you work in, or are you literally in Columbus? Like
yeah, so all these are like kind of not major cities, but kind of major cities. So you could like look up Worthington, Ohio is where we're supposed to be based out of.
Let me just try to give them benefit down here. Worthington, Ohio paint. And best. Yeah, so if I lived in Worthington, Ohio, I would type that in. And bro, you got a 1-star company that's popping up.
Yeah. With 3 reviews.
3 reviews. Whoever's doing your Google needs to go back to school.
Yeah.
It's acceptable. I mean, you're paying a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's $7 a month plus $1,200. I mean, you're at $2,000 a month and no one can find you.
That's their job. Search engine optimization. They have to optimize the search engine or optimize your company so it can fit within a search engine. If they can't do that, they're not doing their job. All right. I'm not going to beat the dead horse here, but that kind of frustrating.
Do one more search for me real quick. Do Westerville, just to make me a little bit more upset.
You say Westerville?
Yep.
Nothing, dude. You don't exist. You got an 11 review company. You got a 3.7 popping up before you. Again, if I were moving to this town, it's just that same. Remember, if we're going down to the roots, it's that same mindset of if I lived here. And look, I mean, we're even on the second page of this, brother. You're not even in any of these listings.
It's nuts.
That's crazy to me. That's not fair.
No.
Money you're missing out on just from traffic on Google. Look at Ocala Painter. Number one, boom. You know how many calls I get from Google? 70% of my leads come from literally people just typing in Ocala Painter, calling.
Yeah.
Okay. So SEO is very, very important. It's just, you got to have the right team doing it. You got to have the data backing up their results. It has to become, refined. If I look at, again, let me go to American Quality Painting. I'll just do one more thing for you. Okay. So American Quality Painting, Ohio. Okay. So I have your Google listing here. Okay. Dude, nowadays Google has so many different things they want you to do, like to showcase that you're an alive company, quote unquote. Like one of the things is like continuously adding photos like every other day. And that's how I can tell that your SEO company is asleep at the wheel, because there's hardly any new photos. And that's what SEO companies do, is that they are uploading photos every other day to make sure that Google is recognizing, or they're trying to showcase to Google that you're an active company. Like Google wants to showcase companies that use the tools that Google's providing, right? So if you go into Google, you can upload photos, you can, because they want to produce quality results for their company. Let's do another quick tutorial here. I'm going to go to the Columbus, Ohio Painters, and I'm going to show you companies that are ranking first. Columbus, Ohio. So you have like this company probably is ranking because of their reviews, but 449 photos. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
They have a company that is just probably like uploading photos every other day. Look, I bet this is a recent photo. Okay. I don't know how to navigate this, but let me see. Oh, latest right here. Yeah, November 2022. You see that?
Yep.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like a bad review.
But you can see though they have a lot of photos. Like, let me see if I can find. Maybe they're not. That's why I said they have so many reviews that maybe they're not even paying a. I know CertaPro has an SEO team.
Mm-hmm.
They got 321 photos. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, and that's actually a good thing. I was looking through this and not seeing it, because if you have a good SEO company, Painter One of Columbus, let's look. Like you can see, but I'm showing you, look at all the photos they have. Every one that we've looked at has over 100 photos being posted by 2022 by owner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure. Again, Google's always changing, but I will say that obviously like photos are important. The listing itself needs to be robust. Responding to reviews, I believe, is helpful. But again, the right SEO company, it's like it needs to be alive. Like here's 6 days ago, right here. See this? This is what I'm talking about. You see how it says Painter One of Columbus right here?
Mm-hmm.
It says at Painter One, we have spent 5 years, so they've like constant they have an SEO company.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to. So like you see like every few days they have like a different post or something, and like, dude, the owner of that company is not typing these. They have a company that is doing that for them.
Yeah.
And here's a thought. If you're looking to vet some SEO companies, I of course have some friends. You can always go to their landing page and scroll down to the bottom and look at that. You can see who their SEO company is. Now I don't know how well they'll take on another company in the same area. But again, you could just do some research on that company, look up their reviews. So if you scroll all the way back down to the bottom of their landing page, you can see who's actually doing the SEO. And in this case, it's a company called like Ninth Root or something like that. Okay?
Yep. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. So did that answer a couple questions, or at least give you some clarity?
Yeah, I already knew. Jump to a different company.
So, all right, cool, man. So the next one is Angie ads. All right, so let's talk about Angie in general. You know, have you had it? So you just signed up with Angie Leads, correct?
Yes.
All right, so here's the deal. You gotta again reverse engineer how this happens so you know how to approach the customer. Have you gotten any leads from Angie yet?
Yeah, we've gotten 3 leads through Angie's.
Not Angie ads, Angie Leads.
Yep. Three Angie leads. Yep. We got signed up Friday. I've gotten 3 leads so far. That 2 of them were pretty good leads. One of them was a duplex owner, and she started painting it by the time I got there and wanted me to paint a stairwell. But besides that, they've been pretty good.
Okay, so first of all, you need to connect it to your Dripjobs account. You do that in your settings. Okay, that's super important because if you got that lead and you're busy, you can't call that lead right away. Dripjobs already sent them a text and an email with a link for them to book an appointment. That's where you can do that in your settings. In terms of Angie Leads, all right. So again, love-hate relationship. I hate them more than I love them. But again, I'm always a proponent of I don't really have to say. It's whatever the market wants. And it's like, again, if customers are going there because they trust it, you know, I use the Publix analogy. Or do you have Publix in Ohio yet? Or no? It's kind of
We don't have. I don't think we have any Publix now.
Piggly Wiggly.
What's that?
Piggly Wiggly. Is that yours?
No Piggly Wiggly.
What's your grocery chain up there?
We use a lot of Kroger's.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. Kroger's probably done delivery for a while. I don't know. But in other words, like here in Florida, dude, people at one point weren't ordering their groceries to their house. And it's like, I'm sure there was a board meeting with Publix that said, hey, if we're going to do this, it's going to cost us some money. We got to staff up. We've got to create a new process. We got to do all this stuff because it's not what we want. It's what our customers want. And the best businesses in the world adjust to the market. They don't think narrowly. They don't say, well, this is the way I do it. And that's it. So the reason I'm saying all this is because you're going to have a love-hate relationship with Angie too. Some leads are going to suck. I think you know that. Some leads are going to be good. You got to look at the big picture though. First of all, these are people, and what you've experienced is 2 good, 1 bad. So right now you have a 66% success rate. If you're able to actually call someone that you get from there, they answer the phone, you actually go visit them and do the estimate, that's success. Would you agree?
Yeah, no.
Now, whether you sell it, that's completely on you. Me and you could go to the same lead and have a different result. But I feel like I'm successful because at least I got to meet them. That's an opportunity. So I think that because you still have a wound on your Google, right? You're wounded right now and you need to recoup that. I would double up on your Angie leads right now, especially during the holiday. Okay, because what you're getting with Angie leads is high buyer intent. In other words, you're saying, hey, I really want to meet someone for this job. Like that's it, really, ultimately. Like that's exactly how it works. Like I'm ready to meet. Google and SEO is a long-term strategy. Maybe start that up again at the end of January so it can work all year. Hopefully the goal is for you to have such a Google presence built throughout that year is that when we get to this time next year, we're not in this position where we're kind of just scrambling. In other words, like you've built enough of a reputation where just people are calling naturally, organically. So I would double down on it. I think, what do you say? You spend 1,000?
Yep, that's what I put my budget at.
Yeah, I would change that to like $2,000, 2,500. Just get as many as you can. I think you're a salesperson naturally. You've done this for a living, right? In the remodeling space.
Yeah, well, not a long background of sales, but I've been in sales for a while. Yeah.
So it's not so much about sales, it's just getting you in front of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, Angie Leads has generally overall been good. Now, here's the thing: from the business owner perspective, you've really got to do a really good job of tracking your success. Dripjobs is going to do that for you. If you set up Angie Leads, integrate it, every time a lead comes in, it's going to mark it as an Angie lead. So as the month goes on, you're not only going to see how many leads you're getting from them, you're going to see what sales you're generating from them. So in other words, dude, I'll have a stretch of 10 leads that 8 of them suck. I can't get them on the phone. They don't answer. They're little jobs. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Or, you know, and it's like, dude, it's really hard to stick with it. Then the 2 that I get come out to 25 grand. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You know, if I only assume that this isn't a good lead source based off those 8, I have 2 that just really just paid for 3 months worth of leads for me. So you really got to have that, you know, that's what it comes down to.
Any questions on any of that stuff?
No. I guess so. I just started unlocking Dripjobs and really diving into it. It's an awesome software, man. Thank you so much for. I don't know if you developed it exactly, but it's awesome. I really appreciate it. It does a ton for you, so thank you. So in Angie Leads, what do you typically pay for Angie Leads a month? If you want to share, if you don't want to, that's okay.
I think you look at it like this. When I first started my business, I wanted to get results quickly. I didn't just care about making money. I cared about learning and refining process, figuring out what we're best at, and building teams. You can't build a team without jobs to do. So for me, like, the mindset was, I don't really care how much I have to spend. It's the same with Dripjobs right now, dude. I'm spending so much on ads for Dripjobs because I don't really care about making money. I care about the exposure. And that's how you should be within the first 2 years of your business. Is I just care about exposure, because ultimately there's going to be a tipping point. Word of mouth is going to kick in. The compound effect is going to take effect, and you're going to start developing business organically, but you need to do that through exposure and reputation. So you can't get reputation without exposure, and you can't get jobs without exposure. So it all starts with exposure. So spend whatever you can. For me, when I first started my business, early on, I was just like you, 1,000, 2,000. When I started to get the hang of it, I was up to $4,000 a month, probably 6 to 8 months into my business on Angie Leads. Ultimately I thought, well, they're sending me people that are interested. If I can call them as quick as as soon as I get the lead, if I can convince them to do an estimate with me, even if they're a little skeptical, and of course, if I show up and I do a great presentation and close the deal, I have a good chance of doing that. So honestly, I was at $4,000 for a while, for a good 2 years. But what did that do? Dude, there were people that I did work for that were the neighbors of Angie Leads.
You got that snowball. You've got that snowball effect now.
Got that snowball effect, dude. I have so many reviews simply because of just all of the jobs that I was able to knock down, thankful to those leads. So again, if you remove the company, which is Angie, and the negative connotation leads carry, and you just look at it like they're connecting me with people, and it's like either I do that myself or I have this company do it for me, and I pay them a quote unquote percentage to do that for me. It's as good as you paying me for Dripjobs or you developing your own software. It's like, how quick do you want to get to your destination? That's the mindset you got to have. So $4,000. Now I'm down to like maybe 400 to 500. I'm going to scale it up a little bit just because it's the holiday. I'll take whatever I can get us through the holiday, and then kick it into gear for the rest of the 10 months. But I do this every year. I mean, really my only focus in December is sell jobs as low as possible if I need to, just to keep the guys busy, get us through the holiday, pay for the week vacation, get into January, get a couple jobs to get us going, and then it's full speed ahead. Everybody starts doing their home improvement projects, so it's cyclical. You got to kind of raise the tempo.
No, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good question. Facebook. No luck on Facebook, huh?
Dude, I'm lighting my own fire there too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What does your ad say?
What's can I pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up.
How do I share my screen? Let's see here. I don't know. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you should be able to. You can read it too. That's easier. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll just go over to Facebook. Wait.
See what it says. A little bit of an ad audit here, right?
What's that?
A little bit of an ad audit. See what it
says. Yeah, no, for sure. I guess I don't know why my iPad's giving me a hard time loading right now. Let me pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, just pull it up.
So the ad that I most previously ran, let's see here, right here. It says, just finished beautiful custom interior. Our schedule's booking up. Give us a call to book an appointment. And then it has my number.
Can you read that slowly?
Just finished up this beautiful custom interior. Our schedule is booking up. Give us a call to schedule a free estimate. Then my number.
All right. So the term is interruption marketing. Okay. In other words, like, well, you didn't give me anything. If I'm scrolling on Facebook, you just said that, hey, we're booking up fast. Act now. Like, and it's like, whoa, I didn't even want a paint job, and now I got to act, right? So, it's like, hey,
in other words, like, I don't care. Good for you. You must be doing really well. And I'll get it after the holiday, right? Keep moving. And that's what people are doing. Remember what I told you when we first started this session here was, do not assume that everything that you're doing now is how it is going to be simply just because of the time of the year. So not only do you have the holidays against you as a advertiser on Facebook, that's the one thing you have against you. Number two is that you're missing a main component of marketing, which is the hook, some sort of story, and an offer. Okay, and that's what gets people to move. And that's what's been.
What was the last one?
An offer. So let's go through that again. So you said, we just finished up this interior. Okay, that's cool. Neat. We're booking fast. Okay, well, in other words, if I don't act, which is stressful for me, I may not get in. So it's easier for me to just sit this one out, right? Give us a call. Oh, I got to pick up my phone and call you. So you kind of are making it difficult for somebody to interact with you. Would you agree? Now that I broke it down,
yeah.
Because again, like, if this is interruption marketing, I want you to picture this scenario. It's going to give you a really good insight of how Facebook is. So you're inside, you're on the couch with your family, you're watching Netflix. Okay, you're watching the TV show. You don't care about anything else. You're just hanging out with your family. Someone knocks on your door, and they go, "Hey, Cory," you're gonna laugh, dude. Hey, Cory. Just so you know, we just finished up your neighbor's house. We're booking really fast. Give us a call if you'd like us to give you a quote.
Yeah.
And you go, all right, thanks, man. And you shut the door and you go back to watching your Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, so just think about that when you're building your ads and you're creating these things, is that you really need to understand that it's like, dude, if you don't guide people right to the destination, you're going to miss out on opportunities. So let's do a new ad that would give your customers an incentive, tell a little story, and really give them a reason, an easy way to get in. So in other words, you would obviously, I'd like hey, we just finished up this beautiful interior, maybe put a little more of the story in there. It's Sherwin-Williams Killam beige with beautiful white trim. We sprayed it with our HVLP sprayers. Joe was the project manager on this job, and he did an excellent job. He loves our customers, so on and so forth. So that's our story. The hook, would usually go before that. It would say something along the lines of, is this something that would bring you holiday cheer? Imagine the look on your family's faces when they see your beautifully painted home when they come over for the holidays, right? Get the Christmas present that your wife has been always asking for, right? Like, that's your hook, dude, And then you have that story, right? And then the offer is 15% off if you book an estimate before December 15th, right? So what does that do? It creates a mini panic in the eyes of an individual that's had this in the back of their mind, because that's what we're looking for, right? You're sitting on your couch. Your house needs to be painted. You're watching Netflix, or you knew it. Your wife, hey, we should probably we should. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. Okay. Guy comes over, but he came over at the wrong time and didn't have enough of an offer to get you to stop watching Netflix. He knocked on the door and said, hey, listen, Cory, I just want to let you know, I noticed some cracking on the outside of your house. We're in the neighborhood. We just painted Joe's house down the street. And he actually said that you guys used to go to play in the pool league together. I play pool. Anyway, here's the deal, man. I'll tell you what, we're running a little special. If you give me about 10 minutes, I'll do a little estimate for you. It's 15% off if you hire us before the 15th. You're going to save a bunch of money. Otherwise, when we come around again, it won't be as convenient. How much more excited, or not only excited, how much more motivated would you be to at least engage with that individual based on that approach?
Yeah, no, for sure. A lot more.
Okay. So you got to realize that your marketing dollars are being wasted if the message is wrong, because you can have the same photos, you can have the same audience, but if the message is wrong, and it's only going to get harder and harder and harder because people are so used to being hooked, given stories and given offers on Facebook. Like, that's how, same structure. It's just, are painting companies doing it? Not so much. Now I want you to start looking at your ads.
when you're looking at Facebook and start paying attention to what these ads are saying, and then just mimic what you're seeing from these professional marketing companies. Can you do it yourself and save a bunch of money? Sure. Do you want to hire a company to do this marketing for you with that same approach? You could when you start moving and grooving. So I hope that helps you. I don't think it's the medium is not the problem. It's the message.
Yep. No, it helps a ton.
Okay. Medium's not the problem. It's the message. So I think we covered all of your marketing channels. In terms of your organic approach, you know, I think you've built up a year's worth of clients. Are you nurturing any clients or leads through any other software? Because we plan to have something for Dripjobs, but it's still a good idea to have like MailChimp or something to help you kind of continuously nurture that lead base, anything like that?
Not a ton. So a lot of people that I have, I don't have anything going out to them monthly, weekly, yearly. I guess I should probably get something like thank you cards or whatever those things are. What do you call it? MailChimps? Is that what's called?
Yeah, MailChimp is just a automation newsletter, you know, just kind of just staying top of mind. I think that's valuable. You know, segmenting customers from, okay, well, this was an interior customer. So if we do exterior, we want to market exterior. You know, I think that it's also important for you to be organized. Like if you look at Dripjobs in the last year, you've probably, if you did 400 grand, you know, you probably did at least 50 to 80 estimates, maybe more, you know? So there's a ton of people that could be remarketed to, maybe didn't hire you, or still, you know, and even to my surprise, whenever I do a blast message in Dripjobs to anyone that I've given a proposal to that hasn't hired me, bro, people who I thought may have gotten their job done wind up coming back and not, and I'll be like, wow, that was 3 months ago and you never got your job done. So there's people that you have definitely given estimates to that still need the job done. Maybe they just haven't been followed up with. So of course that's going to be a strategy. And then, you know, there's local networking groups. Again, I've said this a lot on this podcast, but BNI, have you heard of that?
Yep.
Are you part of a chapter?
No.
Dude, please join a chapter. Like if you need to be in a chapter. Like 100%. Your personality, I think your zest for success in this realm, people are going to attract to that. You're going to build a good network of referral partners. Your stucco guy is a great referral partner. Your local handyman is a great referral partner when he gets called for full house painting and he doesn't want to do it, right? You got your pest control guy who comes in usually first when someone's buying a house, right? He's a great You're gonna love your pest control guy, your drywall guy, you know, your pressure washing contractor, dude. I mean,
quick. So at the beginning of the year when I first started the company, do you guys have real estate meetings where you are in Florida?
Not a fan of real estate, but go ahead. Yes.
I was gonna say, like, I ran around to a bunch of these real estate meetings, bought into, like, you know, our town has some of them. Yeah, I was just like, you know,
that's why it's a waste of time. I'll give you a quick synopsis, okay?
I did.
Want it? I'll give it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thoughts on real estate. If I'm your realtor, okay, and you're my home buyer, right now you admire me because my job is to what? Maximize your investment. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I have two painters, one is a solo guy who I've worked with in the past. He shows up and can paint. Okay, and then I have American Quality, who I know comes with a team and you're gonna be expensive. Which one am I choosing for my client?
Probably the person maximize the.
Of course, because the last thing that I want to do is show you two estimates, one for $5 grand and one for $2 grand, and convince you to pay the $5 grand when normally people don't even care because they're never gonna even freaking enjoy the paint job. They just want to get some color on the wall so they can sell it.
Facts. Yep, that's true.
So, realtors, absolute waste of time.
Look, I was gonna say, looking back at it, that's all. I mean, that's every time I give somebody an estimate from a realtor, they're like, "What? That's expensive."
Property. Anyone wanting to flip a property, anyone wanting to sell a property, these people are a waste of your effort, energy, and resources. They only want the cheapest. In most cases, you might come across somebody who values quality. Usually, in the case of a really bad job that needs to be completely renovated. I'm talking ceiling, walls, trim, doors, if you offer new trim, you can really win them over and they'll pay top dollar for it. But usually when it's freshening up walls, which in most cases it's going to be, they'll find a solo person that they've trusted to come in there and knock it out and then look like the hero by their customers for getting it done for so cheap and hopefully achieving the goal of the sale.
Yeah, no, makes a ton of sense.
The buyer side, though, that's where it's valuable. But here's the thing. If I just helped you throughout the last 4 months, me and you have developed a great relationship, okay? You just bought a house, okay? You're closing on the house. I've already gotten paid. How motivated am I to facilitate anything else and risk our good standing if the painter does a bad job?
Yep, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So if the painter does a job, I get nothing out of it anyway. And you don't like me anymore and I missed out on potential referral business. It's too risky. They don't care about me that much and they don't care about anything else but the reputation. Hey, here's a couple names. I haven't vetted them. Dude, I just had lunch with you. You can't,
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, here's a couple names. So you might get a couple of those, but again, like, you got to do your own marketing. Another channel is direct mail. Haven't had success with it personally. There's ways to target new buyers, but I think, like, dude, right now, go all in on Angie Leads just because it's going to be quick results. It's going to give you the boost you need. Level it out in January. Focus on the SEO in January. Get better at Facebook boosting and your own ads. I think based off of this conversation, you already have some ideas brewing about how you're going to play around with it. Become your own marketer in that sense, just so you can feel what it's like to input and get an output. And then the BNI group is going to be a big benefit for you. Get in there, get your referral partners. Like for you, like in this scenario, first year, you take good numbers. Now you should really start working the marketing groups.
Perfect. No, that's awesome. Everything that you said is awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, man. Like, this is super helpful.
Oh, and let go of the Google guy if you can. I don't know if are you in a contract?
It's just month to month. So I had to cancel a month ahead of time, but I just honestly, I think I'm just going to cancel. It's the 6th or 7th. I'm just going to say, like, hey, listen, I'm going to block you from your ACH transfer for your ACH bank draw.
Take some screenshots of, like.
Yeah, I did while you were talking. I started screenshotting. I'm about to send it to him already.
Not here, not in this town. Where did he rank you at? Like, where are you?
I don't know.
So I can connect you with the Google guy that you can at least get some good information with. I have a very good friend that I work hand in hand with. He's a partner with Dripjobs, so of course I trust him.
That'd be greatly appreciated. I'd love to work with him.
Yeah, for sure. At least, at the very least, just get information. Just be like, hey, let me see some of your success stories. Let me see what your approach is. Compare that approach to what you've been paying for. And then you'll see, whoa, there's major differences here. This is why this isn't working. A lot of Google companies, let me just make this point for the people listening, and then of course you. What they do is they sell you on the dream. And then what they do is they find these guys overseas, pay them pennies on the dollar. They have this cookie cutter process, and they don't do anything until you gripe about it. And then they'll get in and be like, oh, well, it's like they just keep trying to accumulate as many customers as possible. So you really need to be mindful of that. If you're seeking a Google person, find someone that's trusted, recommended by someone you trust, and hopefully you don't run into this issue again.
I was gonna say, yeah. So he was referred by somebody that I trust, but like I've been griping on him for months.
Yeah. I mean, what about the case of, like, did you really dive into the results of the person that gave you the referral?
Yeah. I guess I didn't really dive into the results. I just searched remodeler in Columbus, Ohio. Boom, there's this company. Roofing guy in Ohio. Boom, there's this company. I'm like, well,
you got to look at remodeling is going to be a lot less busy than painter, right? So it's like painter is different because there's a lot more painting contractors than remodelers. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Roofing's the same. Roofing's tough, but so I think you're equipped, bro. I hope this helped.
No, dude, it was awesome. I really appreciate the BNI is gonna be awesome. I needed somebody to tell me to fire my SEO. And other than that, it was just awesome talking to you and kind of meeting you, I guess.
Sure, man. Well, keep me updated. I love hearing success stories. I think
take action, man. Like the difference between those that stay where they are and hit the next level is action. I know that you want to probably hit 1 million. That's a big number that a lot of people strive for. Even myself, it was just one of those things. Like I did it. It's not the million that you're striving for. It's like what you become as a business owner, which I'm sure you're already starting to see. Who you need to develop, how resourceful you become. Don't be afraid to let people go, you know, and keep trying things. But call Angie Leads, get rid of the SEO, change up the Facebook ads, join the BNI group.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Catch you later.
See you. Bye.
Hey, thanks so much for checking out the Contractor Secrets podcast. Stick around. I am going to drop in a short testimonial that one of our awesome heavy hitters in Dripjobs had agreed to give out for us. So if you want to hear a little bit about how Dripjobs is helping contractors, stick around for the end of this episode and you can listen in. What's up, everyone? I'm here with Mark Bradford. Okay, first of all, let me start with this. You were one of the most skeptical people to ever use Dripjobs. What's changed, man? Do you like it? Was it worth it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing is like the return on investment is like instant. As soon as you integrate it with, the stuff that you already have in place. I linked it with my website, with
Nice.
my get a request a quote button.
Yep.
And it's just every phone call that I get for, customers requesting an estimate. I just redirect them to the website and Dripjobs takes over from there.
Love it.
So yeah, it's definitely been a game changer. I'm still learning some of the aspects of it. And I think it's great that there's new and updated features coming in all the time. So I'm definitely excited for the Google Calendar when that comes.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely made a huge difference.
Good.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was one of the things is because you and I had spoke before and you weren't sure if, because sometimes it might feel like Dripjobs is too big, right? Because I know that you kind of do your own thing. Are you still, solo?
Well, I do have a couple full-time guys and a part-time guy. So,
Cool.
it's,
all right.
it's, we're definitely growing. So we want to use, whatever's appropriate as we grow. And I think that
grow into it.
Dripjobs,
Right.
yeah, absolutely. So there's still some features of Dripjobs that I don't utilize yet, but that's just because I need to take the time to really fine tune them and tweak them.
Absolutely.
So I still use every part of it. It's just there's some parts of my old estimating process that work in tandem.
Yep.
So eventually we'll be merging that. Like I said, it's just, it's a fine tuning process.
So a couple things. You mentioned the booking link, and I just want to make sure you know this. I know you're directing people to go to your website, but we added a button on the bottom menu. It says new request. Have you seen that on the Dripjobs app?
That I don't know that I've seen that. No.
You got to check it out. So if someone calls you, you hit that button and you just punch in their phone number and it sends them the link. So you don't have to say, hey, go to the website. You just hit that button, put in their phone number, and then just like that, they get the link to fill out the form.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
So save a step there. So you've been using it now for, I think, 2 months. We reached out to you because you're killing it. Just curious in terms of you've been sending proposals. Have people been responding to the automated messages?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, getting onto the Dripjobs drips and getting to scheduling has been very quick. Honestly, most of the responses that I've been getting through the automated responses have been like just
after
because
you send the proposal, mostly
after I send the proposal, and so I've gotten maybe 1 or 2 where they were kind of on the fence, and the automated email helped sway them over to the side.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, it's, a lot of them have been just, I go out, do the estimate, and they want to get on the schedule within the next couple of days. So
huge, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So
overall, would you say, I mean, it's pretty easy, software can be pretty crazy. I mean, one of our focuses as a company is to like try to make it as simple as possible for you to get in, do what you need to do and get out. Do you feel as though like, it's pretty easy to navigate and use?
I think once you spend a good day and a half with it, it's you can jump right in as long as
Cool.
you're, somewhat computer savvy. Absolutely. Yeah.
Love it,
So
man.
it's getting more user friendly, I feel like,
Yeah, yeah. Did you
from the
notice we
start.
started putting the lead sources there on
Yeah.
on the deal cards?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's
I
just
like
being
that.
able to see where people come from, right?
Yeah, and the customers have been using it too. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we force
it's
them to on that
yeah.
form.
I
Yeah, I
wondered
mean,
because it just started all of a sudden. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
word of mouth, cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Word of mouth, and
okay.
you know what? Generally, people are really honest on there, which
Yeah,
is cool. It's
yeah,
not like they just like pick whichever one. Because I'll kind
yeah,
of follow up sometimes, like, how'd you hear about us? Just to see if they lied. It's
yeah,
like, all right, that matches with what you put.
yeah,
It's like I
yeah.
got data that I need to look at, lady. So make sure you're correct here.
Right,
No, that's awesome,
exactly.
man. So just last thing, man, I always like to end with this on one of these is you were on the fence more than, like I said, anyone. I think you tried it and then you didn't use it. And then I think Mike gave you a kick in the butt. And I was like, dude, give
Yeah.
it a try. We sat down. If you if you could talk to somebody that's on the fence, maybe just doesn't have a good system or has their own system and they're thinking about Dripjobs, what's one thing you would say to them, to sway them?
I would say, I mean, you're not locked in, and it, like I said before, the return on investment's immediate. If you can present yourself well to the customer, Drip Jobs will do the rest.
Boom.
That's it.
Love it,
Keep it
man.
simple.
Keep it simple. Mark,
Yeah,
you're the man. Continued success for you, my friend. I see that you're growing, and I think it's only up from here. I appreciate your time, man. This was 100%
absolutely.
voluntary on your part, bro, and it means a lot. You
Yep.
took time out of your day to do it. So thanks, man.
Thanks a lot, Tanner.